Hi, my name is Darren Ellis, aka Wild Camper 1967, and I'm out on another wild camp. So join me in my journey and follow my videos by clicking subscribe, and any of the contents you like, click that like button. So let's get on with the camp and cue the credits. I'm out on another local camp. It's about 5 miles from my home, and I am heading towards a big manor house called Chalfield Manor, which is just outside Broughton Gifford, a little village in Wiltshire. Chalfield Manor, if you look it up on the map, it will come under Bradford and Avon, but it's not very far from Melksham, to be honest. It's closer to Melksham than it is Bradford. It's an area that I grew up as a child and used to walk around here quite often. But this is the first time I've been here since the mid-90s, so it's going to see how much things have changed. Well, I had to pick a day when they're doing something up here. Normally the barriers in front of the house you wouldn't see there, so whether they're doing some filming I do not know, but that house there is Chalfield Manor and it is a fantastic house. along here where I'm going is the wood that I'm going to camp in, hopefully. I haven't been in there for a large number of years, like I said. And in this wood that I'm going to now, I had one of the most scariest moments of my life, and I will tell you about that a bit later. On this bridge, I almost jumped out of my skin when I was about 15. Didn't realise sitting in that tree there was a peacock. And if any of you heard how loud a peacock is, when it squawked out, I almost fell off the wall and almost had a heart attack from the sound of it. Didn't realise it was up there. Also brought out with me a Venox tarp that I purchased from Amazon for $29.99. That came with guidelines and pegs. It's a 3x3 tarp, so I'm hoping it's going to be of some use. I'm going to try it out, see how well it goes. I normally would use military DPM bashers, but I'm going to try this tarp out and see how well it works. Well, that's the tarp setup and the tent setup. It's now just getting all my bedding in there, and then it's time to make a coffee because I seriously feel I need one. And a slight correction on the make of the tarp. It's called a Vontex, V-O-N-T-E-X. So if anyone's ever used one of these and would like to make some comments, feel free to do so. I would like to know how well you got on with this tarp. The tarp looks okay so far, but it's the fact of time will tell to see how well it stands up to the weather. It's basically set up like this at the moment because we're not expecting any rain, and I hope we don't either. I'm going to end up having a big pool smack bang in the middle. So I'm now just going to get a little bit on the organised side and get the stove out, make a nice cappuccino, and then I will get back to you shortly. So remember, if you like any of the contents of this video, feel free to click that like button or put the thumbs down if you don't. Thank you very much so far. All set up now. Got a nice cappuccino. This is one of the reasons why I like wild camping and going on my own. The peace and quiet, all I can hear is the birds singing away, the odd breeze, but nothing more. It's just so relaxing. Now to the scariest moment of my life in these woods. It was around about 92, I think, 93, in a town not far from here called Devizes, that a large black cat was witnessed roaming around the fields, and it was witnessed by quite a few people. Photographs were taken, it was all on the news and in the papers. And it was around about 93, 94. A previous girlfriend at the time and I was walking through these woods with her Jack Russell, and a large black object jumped out from one of the trees, landed hard on the ground and broke a large branch on the floor. Lisa picked up the dog, hid behind me. I picked up a branch. What that was going to do I don't know, and waited. It ran away. What this thing was I don't know, but it scared the living daylights out of both of us. So that was the most scariest point in my life, and it was in these woods. Right, food's all done now, and I'm having hot dog sausages with fried onions and a barbecue sauce. Nothing extravagant, just basic, standard, easy camping food. And beer tonight, and those who've watched my previous video are going to say, so you did do it. It is an IPA, which is the Hobgoblin, and the only reason I bought this is because Asda did not have any Newcastle Brown Ale. Why? Who knows? Gonna have to put a complaint in, because I'd rather drink that than an IPA. Some IPAs are okay, but some of them just got a weird taste to them, so that's why I'm not a big fan of IPAs. Right, I'm just going to get on with this now. You don't want to see me eating it, you didn't want to even see me cooking it, hence the reason I didn't film it, okay? Right, so I'll catch you guys later. Right, I'm glad I purchased this tarp now, because it has started to rain, so I'm now sat under it in the dry. I've finished off my meat-free Cumberland sausages, and now I'm trying out this beer, which, yeah, it's okay. That's about all I'm going to say. It's definitely not Newcastle Brown Ale. It's the aftertaste of IPAs I do not like. Some of them are okay, but vast majority, they just got this twangy, weird aftertaste. Maybe just me, I don't know, but just not a great fan of IPAs. Also, this DJI Osmo action camera is not too bad. I quite like the little front screen it's got on it. That way you can frame yourself up nicely. So, yep, I'm going to give this thing a test out and see how well it works. It's just the fact that when I get home, see how bad my editing skills will be on my laptop, because normally I would do it on my phone. So it's a process of learning. Also, I have some good news. Kind of good news. I don't know if any of you watched my previous videos, the earlier ones, and I posted one about discussing about my job. And what I'm doing now restricts me to
doing camping simply because I only get every other weekend off. Well, I've got a new job. I start on the 18th of next month. I've handed my notice in. My boss wasn't too happy. She basically blanked me yesterday, and I was meant to go on a 1-hour course in-house, which she took me off simply because as I'm leaving, why put me on it? It would have been nice of her to tell me so I didn't have to go in early, but hey ho, it's a bit childish, I know. My new job is also going to pay me quite a bit more than what I'm getting at present. The only downfall about it is that on a Sunday I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I start at 5, which I am not looking forward to. I do not do early mornings. But on the plus side, it means I get every Friday and every Saturday off, so more camping trips. Yes, I'm going to miss my job as a support worker. I have learnt a lot since working with people with epilepsy, learning disabilities and autism. I've learned a lot more patience in my life, respecting people a lot more. There's also the fact that I've learned to be more grateful for what I have. Too many of us want more. We want more tech, more money. And we don't realise that we have so much in our life compared with others. We have capacity to decide what we want to do, where we want to go. And some of the guys I support don't have that, sadly. We have to make that decision for them and do the best we can to give them a better quality of life. So when we whinge on about, oh, we want more, we want this, we want that, I think the best thing I could suggest is, if you're one of those people, go and be a support worker for 1 week. You will learn a hell of a lot more about what is more valuable in life. And yes, I know people whinge and whine about working in the care industry, saying the money's rubbish, but as a support worker I spent nearly all my time sat on my backside watching telly or listening to music with the guys I'm supporting, and paid for it. So it's not really work, and so I would say it's very, very good money for what I've been doing. I think the hardest part of my job is driving the guys around in the minibus. Other than that, the job is what you would call a doddle. And no, I'm not leaving my job as a support worker just solely because of only having every other weekend off. That would be a bit selfish. There is a main reason, which I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's the way the company runs the home that I work in. It has made things very, very unhappy to work there, very awkward to work there, and made things so much harder for us as support workers that we are not doing the best for the people we are supporting. So it's a case of leaving with positive feelings and good memories rather than staying there longer and end up hating the job, which is one thing I do not want to do. I want to leave my place as a support worker with really good memories and good learning skills of what I have achieved since being there. But that's enough about my job prospects. Don't want to bore you any more with it. I would like to say a big thank you to Paul in Ireland, who made a comment which was very positive and very much appreciated. I should have thanked you quite a while ago when you sent it. One, I just totally forgot about it, and two, I just haven't got round to doing it. It slipped my mind. I would like to say that I do not get hardly any comments on my videos, so I do not know how to improve, or whether I'm doing something wrong with the videos. Are they too boring for you? And I would like to know. I would like to hear from you lot. You know, you don't have to be all positive. I'm quite happy to listen to the negative side of my videos. How am I going to learn and improve if you guys don't tell me? So come on, click on that comment button and tell me what you think of my videos. Are they worth watching? Are they interesting? How can I improve? Also, I'd like to say that this tarp is doing a good job. It's nice and dry in here. The only downfall is that my chair is sinking into the ground. I'm getting lower and lower and lower, more closer to the floor now. The legs are sinking right in the mud. So it just proves you can buy mid-range budget kit that does a good job and it's not going to break your bank. So I am quite pleasantly surprised and pleased with everything I've purchased so far. Well, still raining. Been raining now for around 2 hours. Tarp is doing really well. Third can of this. Definitely have not got used to the taste of it, but it will do for tonight. So it doesn't look like the weather's going to change much at the moment, so I'm in for a very, very wet night. But despite the crappy weather, it is still worth being out here. It's very relaxing and enjoyable, so I'm not going to complain about the weather. Should be used to it. I live in England. Part of our daily life rain, isn't it, these days? I'm just glad I've got the tarp, so I can now sit out in my chair and relax outside listening to the rain falling on the top of it. So I'm going to finish off this can, have the fourth one, and then I might get back to you a bit later on if I've got anything else to say. So until then, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed some of this video so far. If you have, just give it a thumbs up for me. So that's about it for now, so I'll speak to you again shortly. Right, it's 9:30. I've just finished watching Nicky Flanagan on Netflix, and as you can hear, it's still raining, so I'm going to call it a night. I'll say good night to you all, and I will speak to you again in the morning. So bye for now. Good morning everyone, it's 7:30. And I don't know if you can hear, but it's still raining. Look outside, it's very wet and boggy out there. The tent's got a bit of condensation because I was quite hot in the night, but apart from that, good night's sleep. Woke up to the sound of the birds singing away, blackbirds, which is nice. So I guess it's now time to put the stove on and bake a coffee. Well, that's what it's like outside the tent at the moment. As you can see, it's very wet. And I don't know if you see, there's a hole there and it's full of water now. You can see all the water coming off the tent, off the tarp, sorry. Very grey and dull. Right. This is me going on a little bit of a wander, and I don't know if you can see how wet the ground is around me. And it's going to be a fun task trying to get out of here. Everywhere is saturated. So yeah, I may be getting wet feet when I try leaving here. I don't know if you can see right over there, but that was a little stream I videoed when I first started here, when I told you about on the bridge. Yeah, I've got to go through where that stream is, so hopefully the part I need to exit is not going to be underwater. Other than that, I'm going to have to try and find another way of getting out. But hey ho, and there's my camp setup, all hid away. Well, there we go. That little stream is now turned into basically river size. That's how much rain we've had in the night. And you can see how far it stretches right across the field. As you can see, it's slightly on the wet side. Now the big question is, on the way out of here, am I going to get along where the bridge is, or is that road going to be underwater and I'm going to have to take the long way around? We will soon see later on today when I pack up and get ready to go. Well, I didn't expect to be caught in the middle of a flood, but that's one of the joys of wild camping. Like I said last night, of walking around in a boggy, muddy wood. This is one of the reasons why we do it. We like that task and that challenge, but wouldn't change it for anything. Yes, I can't wait for summer to come, but I'm quite happy with this. It's peaceful, relaxing. It's brilliant to wake up to the sound of the birds singing and the sound of running water also. So let's make my way back to the tent, finish off what I was doing, have a bit of breakfast, then start thinking about packing away. Cooking up some nice vegetarian bacon. If only you could smell what I could smell, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between this and real stuff. This stuff tastes just like bacon. Well, that's me all packed up. I wish I could say leave no trace is the saying here, but you can clearly see where I've been by all the mud patches. Can't be helped. Bit of a wet, damp night. Right, so it's now time to do about a 2-mile walk back to the car, and hopefully it will only be a 2-mile walk, because if I can't get over the bridge area where the road is, it's going to be about a 5-6 mile walk. But we will soon see, and I will let you know when I get there. Right, I've made it out the woods. This is where I entered, and this is now all underwater. As you can see, we've had slightly a little bit of rain. Now I've just got to go over to the road part and see if I can get across now. The words I can only use is oh crap. I now have a 5-mile walk back to the car, maybe 6, because what you can see out there beyond that gate is the main road, so there's no way I'm going to get through that. Hard to believe that was just a standard little stream earlier. Well, that is the road that I needed to walk up to get back to my car, which would have been about a 2-mile walk. Now it's a much longer walk than what I had expected. That shows you how much rain we had in the night. Well, even the shortcut road that I was going to go down
is also flooded. So yes, I've now got to add an extra mile to my walk. I'm definitely going to need a bath when I get home rather than a shower. I'm going to need a long soak after this. I've also realised two other issues that I might come across. I'm going to be going through Holt to get to Broughton Gifford, and I'm hoping that the Broughton Gifford side that I need to get to will not be underwater also, because there is an area there that's low and floods. And the other issue is, which I haven't thought about until now, is that going from Broughton Gifford to Melksham, the main road there is right next to the river, so I might end up having to go via Trowbridge just to get home. So not only is it going to be about a 6-mile walk to get to my car, it could also be about a 12-mile drive to get home. So this camp is going to be very eventful. Right, I've made it now to the village that I grew up in, Holt. So I will go through and I will just show you bits and pieces that are relevant to me and when I used to live here. So here we go. Over there is what's called the Toll Gate. It's the pub that in CB terms in the 80s got this village name as being called Dodge City, and the reason being is that they used to hold little cowboy gun shootouts in there, up in that top room where the windows are open. It was like fastest shootout draw sort of thing. It's hard to explain. And this big building here used to be J&T Bevans. It used to be a factory that produced chamois leathers. Used to work there in, I think it was 1986. It's all now luxury apartments, I think. All those buildings there never used to be there. That basically used to be slurry pits, just waste ground. Now it's just an eyesore of modern buildings, luxury apartments. And this large building, this used to be Sawtell's Bed Factory, now also just luxury apartments. Oh, this village has changed. And this is where I grew up from the age of 14, 15 until I left Holt at the age of 20. I lived right at the top of this housing estate. And that's where I used to live, at that end house. It's had an extension put on it since then. That was number 21 Hawcroft. That's where I lived until the age of 20. Right, that was a brief little tour of the village I grew up in. I am now going to make my way to Broughton Gifford from here. Hopefully I can do the short route to it. I am also going to pass two places that are relevant to me. One is where I used to teach horse riding to, which is Maureen's, and the other place is West Wilts Equestrian Centre, in which I worked there for some time as a maintenance worker and horse builder. Right there is where I used to teach horse riding to children and adults, and just across the road, if you can just see the building, is West Wilts Equestrian Centre, where I used to work for 5 years as maintenance worker. And yes, I finally made it to Broughton Gifford. I've now just got about a mile walk to my car, so the end is almost in sight. crap once again. Yeah. What can I say? That's the road. It looks like I'm going to get wet feet, and I'm not walking the long way around. Bugger that. I'm going through it. Sod it. Can only get wet once, can't you? Never mind. Ho ho. Here we go. Right, that had to be done. I wasn't going to walk the extra 4 miles. But it meant I would have to walk all the way down through the main road and back again. So it was a case of go through the floods and get saturated, or take an extra long walk. And I decided to say, bugger it, I'm going through the water. And the current on that water was really strong. Right, on the way back to the car now. And there you are, the little cream mini ahead is my car. I've almost made it. I'm hoping that the lanes leading to Stonor School in Atworth will be clear, because going by Broughton Gifford's Little Road, there is no way the Melksham Road is going to be passable for my little car. So it's either take the chance and go around the lanes, or a 12-mile long detour. And I'm going to just try the shorter route first. Right, that's it. Almost end of journey. Right, that's another wild camp over and done with. Another wood in Wiltshire covered. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, feel free to do so. And come on, walking through all that water definitely deserves a thumbs up. So that's it for now. It's on my way home and a long soak in a bath. Thank you for watching, and bye for now until the next time.